Microsoft PowerPoint working with text placeholders. We're currently looking at slide 3 and it's completely blank. The layout, the current layout for this slide happens to be this option, a title and 2-column text. Now I could choose to simply have a blank slide just by clicking on this button, and it's now a blank slide. But I'll change it back to title and 2 columns by clicking here, and what I'll do is I'll insert a new slide. The reason for me doing this is to show you that when you click this button, it will make the new slide number 4, and it will push slide 4 and 5 further down. So I click New Slide, and here it is. It took us to the default layout, which is simply title and text. And this particular slide I'm going to change to a blank slide. Now the reason for making it a blank slide is to show you that you can create your own placeholders. Now to do this, you need to make sure that your drawing toolbar is showing. So I'll click View, go down to Toolbars, and then we notice that the drawing toolbar is here. If I click it, it will appear. Now before I click it, I want to show you where it will appear. It will appear down towards the bottom of our screen. So I go to Toolbars, I go across up to Drawing, and when I click, notice it has appeared here. The Drawing toolbar is down the bottom. The options that we're mainly going to take a look at here, well, the only option we'll take a look at in this video is the text box option. But notice there's also the word art, the diagram or organizational chart, clip art, and insert picture. And they're all different types of placeholders. So I'll click on the text box placeholder, and notice that PowerPoint tells us to click and drag to insert a text box. But you don't even need to click and drag. If I move my mouse up towards where the heading would be and I simply click, then it creates a very small box, but importantly it has a text cursor in it. I can type my heading here, and when I click in a blank space, there it is. If I click on the text box button again, even if I click and drag a large box, it doesn't go all the way down to the edge of the slide. It simply follows the width that I chose. Now let's say I accidentally click in a blank space outside. You might think the placeholder is no longer there, but if I move my mouse around, we can see that it's actually not there. Now let's say I go down to the text box, click it, draw something, and this time if I press the escape key once, the border goes fuzzy. If I press the escape key one more time, notice this time, however, if I move my mouse around, there are stages where I get a 4-headed arrow, and if I click, then that text box will reappear. Just be aware of that, because if you create a lot of different text boxes but you press the escape key a couple times, you might not realize that you actually have several different placeholders on the screen. Now of course, once you've got the placeholder, you can start to type some text into it. And all I did was start typing on the keyboard. And when you're finished, you click outside and your text appears on the screen.